We got 5 minutes on basketball. Michigan falls to Florida in double overtime on Tuesday night in the Jumpman Invitational in Charlotte. Just from a basketball philosophy standpoint, fellas, you foul up 3 at the end of a game? Do you adhere to those rules?
It depends on how late it is in the game.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
10 seconds or less, yeah. More than anything, get a damn rebound. You know, and I understand this is a good offensive rebounding team, but 20-something offensive rebounds is disgraceful for a program that prides itself on being for competitors only. So let's be honest. If Doug McDaniel doesn't go off, then Michigan probably gets run in this game. And that's how these games have kind of gone. You know, if Doug McDaniel's hitting those shots that are ridiculously high level, you know, step back threes and 28-foot threes and stuff like that. And when he's scoring at that level, Michigan's got a chance. If they don't, they're getting run out of the gym. And credit them for playing hard, but you're supposed to play hard. And to me, the defense is lacking. I think that's very clear. 106 points. And there are too many lapses, guys, in possessions on both ends of the floor where, okay, you're giving up 10 points a game because you have the idiotic one-handed pass into the fifth row, you know, or somebody forgets who to guard on the other end and there's a guy underneath all alone and scoring. You know, any one of those in this game, or if Doug McDaniel, for example, waits another second and a half before he goes and makes the stupid turnover before the half, and they get the 3 at the other end, that was a difference in the game. Everybody can say, oh, that's lucky. Well, no, it's not lucky because you're supposed to have the last possession. And if you don't score, at least they aren't coming back and scoring. Those are the plays that are in the difference game. It's not just about the end of the game. It's about the plays leading up to it. It could be the play in the first half that determines whether or not you win or lose a game, as John Beilein always used to say. And fundamentals matter, and this team sucks at them.
Have a hard time really following that up. I mean, pretty much hit on all of it. I mean, it's just more of the same, right? This is a game we've watched them play 22 times over the last 2 years, where you lose 5-17 in games decided by 6 points or less. I think 4-13 or something like that in games decided by 4 points, whatever the stats are. They don't value the basketball. They lack attention to detail on both ends of the floor, and quite frankly, I mean, there's no depth on this team at all. So when you get yourself into a double overtime game, you got guys out there gassed because you can't play anyone else because the roster construction stinks. So again, it's not, nothing against those guys, but this is, it's not just, oh, well, gosh darn it. They played so hard. You could tell they're close. I don't care about close anymore. I mean, this has been what they are. It was what they were last year when they had 2 first-round picks and a former All-American at center. And to be frank with you, I mean, I have a hard time seeing it getting any better than that because you don't have those pieces. So, again, I mean, the bones of a good, solid NCAA tournament basketball team are here, but the mentality isn't there. I don't think they're coached very well. I don't think the games are managed very well. I mean, the next good possession that they draw up for the final, play before the buzzer, the one that winds up being good will be the first I've seen in a couple of years. So to me, it's all a mess.
Yeah, I do disagree a little bit with the level of talent. I don't know that there's that much talent on this team. I was going to say something similar to you, Chris, with they're not good at executing down the stretch, but those mean, you wouldn't be tied or up 2 or down 2 if you would have just played cleaner earlier on in the game. You're up 9, and then you have some terrible possessions on both ends of the floor. It gets the other team right back in the game. It feels like every time they go up 2, they go to zone and let a 3, or at least a good 3-point attempt. So it just feels like on offense too, when they do get a little bit of a lead, maybe 2 possessions, they get comfortable and take some terrible shot. They just don't play smart, and I think that's, playing hard is one thing, but playing hard and playing smart is really the combination you're looking for. And the last thing I'll say too is Doug McDaniel gets 33. He had 33 against Oregon. I don't know if they would have been ran out of the gym if he doesn't get 33. He gives them nothing against Indiana, and they're still close. But here's the thing: he gives them 33 in 2 games. How come these outlier performances don't lead to a 10-point win? How come no matter what happens, whether Doug gives you nothing or he gives you 33, you're close at the end. So to me, that shows that you can be good in one area, but then they let all these other areas slide. And, like the offensive rebounds, the turnovers, defensive lapses, and then you end up tied at the end of the game, and we all know they can't execute in those situations.
Yeah. Indiana's a terrible basketball team too.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for losing that game at home. So kudos for beating Iowa. Congratulations there. And but to me, you know what? They've let so many opportunities slip by here, and this was just another one.
Mm-hmm. So Michigan will take on McNeese State on December 29th, 10-day break. Will Wade coming in with his group of guys that he probably bought via quote-unquote NIL, and we will see what happens